Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial about doing clouds, or actually volumetric 3D textures in Unity with Houdini. So what I'm going to show you is to make these kind of things. So this one is Unity's, and I'm going to show you how to tweak a bit, and you can make this this cloud here. You can see it actually moving a little bit, and also, how you could tackle if you would like some kind of shadow. I'm going to make this one another little bit more thinner one. Here you can see when you're swapping between two volume textures, if you're interested. And some other shape, a torus, and a skull that's opening and closing the mouth. And there are some basic stuff that you can do. For instance, if you want to turn off the, as you see, this noise going on here, if you want to turn it off and so forth. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and from scratch. So first off, Unity showed this volumetric introduction to ray marching on their Unity YouTube channel. And as they say here, you can download the GitHub project and the render pipeline ebook to understand it further. And I'm going to walk you through how to do it. So I already downloaded this project that they refer to. So this is what you see when you open it. And they have shaders that they show you step by step what they made, so you can understand it in a more technical way. But we're just gonna extract what we need and put it into a new project. So what I did, I don't want all the kind of stuff that you find in this project. The project is that they refer to here. There's a lot of different stuff going on here. So the only thing we want is this shader. And also important to note, this is for universal render pipeline and not the high definition render pipeline. So this thing here, we only want the shader. So the shader is this one here. So if we right click and we do export package, and you see it picks the material, the shader, the texture that it's using, and the custom code that they put into the shader. And you do export and you put it somewhere. In my case, I put it in desktop. I already done it here to cloud. I named it like this. So I won't do it again. So you just export this stuff, and you see it will end up in the scenes, volumetric clouds, and script HLSL folders. And then in your own project, that should be universal render pipeline, of course. You just do asset, import package, custom package, and you pick this one and open and import, and then you get this kind of stuff where it will end up, right? I have it already imported, so I won't import it again. So I have these files here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I just put it in a folder so I easily find it here. So I already have them imported, and we're gonna make it from scratch. So now if you have these files imported, now the only thing you need to do, I'm gonna just make it like this. I like it another way. This is good. So you just do cube, and this cube need this ray marching material, and this ray marching material has some numbers here but you won't have them when you import it. I've dialed them in. And what I have here, I think the number is copied from their project. So you just go into their project and you find these numbers. Or you just pause and copy the numbers here. So it's not exactly the same numbers, but it's somewhat the same. And there are different stuff you can do here to change it, work different manners. And density scale, of course. So this is how easy it is. So now you might wonder, well, how do I do this kind of stuff by myself? So first off, we're gonna make this texture. We're gonna make it in Houdini. So if I just do from grayscale, apply, you see it like this. So we're gonna make it from scratch in Houdini, our own stuff as I saw. And first off, I'm just gonna make show in Explorer because I want to save my Houdini file in here. So in Houdini, a brand new one, I'm just gonna file and save as, and I'm gonna make sure I save it in the Unity folder. I do it for organization purpose. This is gonna be volumetric textures. Textures, or actually just clouds. So let's do a geometry node and go into it. And the first thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna make our cloud. Super simple one. We're gonna have a sphere. And I'm gonna change it to polygon because I want this kind of way of geometry. It makes it more easier to work with, according to me. And I want to do actually clip. So this clip is really nice. It just clips the mesh, and you can change the origin where you want it. So 0 in I is of course 0 in the, it's placed on the grid, and if I lower it or higher it, well, you understand. So I'm actually going to leave it here. I'm going to also do a poly cap like this. So it just makes the area filled again. And then I do a remesh. And here I do a little bit less, more detailed resolution and smoothing like this. It gets more nice, soft. And let's see. So this is super nice. There is a node inside Houdini called Cloud. Super good, exactly what we want. So now we have the cloud. And this cloud has some really nice features. And we are actually gonna visualize, well, first, before we do anything else, I'm just gonna make a volume texture export. So this volume texture export will export this sheet for us. And this sheet gonna be the 3D volume texture. So it's gonna be exactly the same kind of like this one. So what we're gonna make here is, well, we got the resolution here. So the resolution. We can start from the top. Render is render, and we're going to render a current frame. We're going to use the density, and the density is what you see here. So the cloud picks up the shape and make a density of it, so we can then render out layers from that one. And we're gonna just leave everything as it is. And slices is that we want to have 64 of them like this. So this is just resolution, right? And resolution per slice. So slice is one area like this. And 64 is good enough. So here you see the total resolution and tiles. And yeah, and here you see, if I middle click mouse, you can see where the true path is, and this is the script code. So hip is where the file is saved. So this is the file, and it's saved in here. So the benefit of having the file saved inside Unity is that I will have all my renders here. So I'm gonna have hip is where my file is, and then I'm gonna have a folder render, and I'm gonna name this as my cloud 01, and just render. So now, well, actually we do full screen. So now you see it's popped up the render folder here, and here it is, our texture. And we need to do some settings for this one. And first I'm gonna do 3D. And also you see here, input texture alpha, we're gonna have it, yeah, we can leave it as it is. And wrap mode, I'm actually gonna copy the same as Unity has. So it's gonna be clamped. And you also need to untick generate MIP maps. You need to have it like this. Well, you could have it in, but I'm gonna show you the reason why I don't use it. So first I'm gonna leave it like this and do apply. And also the columns, I forgot the columns. So here you see the tiles is 8 by 8, and we also need to make the columns and rows just 8 by 8 like this, apply, and here we have it. So there's one thing that I want to show you. We have this, this is the Unity one. We're gonna put it like this, and we're gonna make a new one, cube. Well, actually, we do it like this, cloud Unity, and then we just copy paste. This is gonna be cloud 1, and in here we're gonna name this one as cloud Unity, and this is going to be cloud 1, and we're going to drag this one to this one here, and also then we just take in the render cloud 1 into the texture like this, bam, and here we have it. So there are something, the first thing I want to show you, you can see if we look in a really narrow like this, you can see there's some kind of things going on here, and you see something is going on here, and you're like, why is this happening? And you see it here, and this is the reason why you want to tick off generate MIP maps, apply, and it disappears. So remember, do the generate MIP maps off. So now we want to tweak this one, because you can see there is some kind of banding and stuff. And one thing, first off, this banding is because the density in this cloud is really contrast, really hard, really high. So what I mean by this, you see, it's a little bit more soft on this one, right? But this is really hard. And the reason is because in Houdini, the cloud has this density, and you don't want it to have a 10. You want it 1 to be much more softer. So if I now render again, and because when I render again and just update the file inside Unity, I don't need to do all this kind of stuff again. Now you see the cloud is much more nicer, right? And yeah, the shape is not that interesting, of course, but we're going to take care of that. So now back in Houdini, we're going to keep on working on this one. And I'm going to just think a little bit. Okay. So here, I'm going to make a thing to visualize this better. So if I do a wrangler, and I also do the volume wrangler, now I can make some code that interfere with volumes, because this one is mesh. So in this one, I can have a wrangler that do on the points or on the primitives. Well, this is the primitives and so on. But here, you see there is no points, there is no primitives. It's some kind of cloud information. And because of that, we want to have a special wrangler that works on volumes. And what I want to do, because if I look here, points is nothing, vertices is nothing, primitives has some kind of density, detail is empty. So on the prims that represent the volume, we just want to do like this. Density is a float value, and if we do at, we point to the attribute on the node. So we're going to do density times equal channel. So we're going to create a channel, multiply density like this, and press this button here. Now you see, if we just crank it up a lot, this will be our visualizer. And of course, if we did like this and render it in, you see now we really cranked up the density, but we want that. We will only use the multiply of 1 and not 150. So this is only our visualizer. Cool. So in this one, I'm going to actually have this blue. So we see the result on this one, but we're working on this one. So here we want to do with the shapes. You can do so much with this. So here you have this kind of, okay, fill source. Well, actually, so now you can start. Oh, it's working. That's why we didn't see anything before. It seems like it's a heavy calculation. We're going to wait it out. So what's really good with Houdini, you can always see down here what's happening. It's kind of working, but now I'm waiting for it. And please let it not crash. So we're back. I paused a bit, so I touched this spatial scale. So it's a scale of resolution. I don't know, something like that. Don't touch it. It takes time. So we're gonna work on this shape, and here you got this fill source. You got random seeds, you can do different shapes. And I'm gonna do scatter multiplier, smaller shapes of it. Smoothing. Well, this is not working out as expected. I'm gonna move fill source, so I'm actually gonna use a secondary shape, and you can add some different shapes to your cloud like this. And also, you can add a merge. So before you plug it in here, you can actually add some extra shapes. So let's say we have an extra sphere, and I want to have it in here. I'm going to place it here. This one I'm going to make a little bit bigger. So now we have this thing going on. So if we go in here, we have now a different shape of the clouds. So you can go on with this, add another one. Maybe you want it up here. Well, we're going to have it here. So you can do different interesting shapes. So I'm going to leave it like this. So now we have this one, right? And we're just going to make render, and inside Unity we have our new nice cloud. So you can see there's some stuff going on here that you kind of, yeah, you see what's going on. You see it through like this. So what's happening is that in these, you need to have the number of steps it's going through the cloud and have it higher. So then you just need to make sure, well, if we start with 16, you see it's not, it's need to be some more. So this seems like about it. So yeah, this is our first cloud. Last thing we're gonna do, we're actually gonna do, we're gonna make shadow from this one. So we're gonna make this cloud, we're gonna make a convert EDB. So with this thing, we're gonna convert it to a polygon. And you see there's nothing turning up. But if you take this ISO value and start working with it, you can see you get the shape of the cloud. And I'm just gonna do remesh, and make it a little bit smaller. Actually, we don't need to use the remesh. We can have this one and do the adaptive. Just remove. And then we can use this poly reduce node if we want to be super efficient, and then just remove resolution. Because what I want to do with this, I want to do drop FBX. And this is going to be our shadow shape. So if we take the output path here, copy it, and paste it here, and we do the cloud 01 shadow mesh, and do FBX like this. And also we need, because there's different scales inside Unity and Houdini. One unit in Houdini, if you want it to be matched like the same size in Unity, you need to multiply it 100 times. So then we do 100 here, and before we export it, and do export, because otherwise 1 unit in Houdini is 1 meter and 1 unit in Unity is 1 centimeter. So otherwise this cloud would be a tiny small cloud. So we just rotate this one. Actually, I think it's scaled like this. Put it on the cloud. Then we just move it to match where it is. And now if we only do in here, in the mesh, cast shadow, and we do that to shadows only, and we do on the cloud, we do off. Now we have the shadow from the cloud. And also, if you want the shadow to be a little bit smoother, you can do that with the directional light. And you do soft shadows, and you do the high quality, you get more soft, and then you just do the strength. Bam. An easy solution depending on what you need. So I hope you liked the tutorial. In the next one, I'm going to continue and make more shapes and tweak the shader a little bit so we can make some moving, as you saw before, some moving pattern in the shape, so it looks a little bit more live and blend between clouds and so forth. So thank you so much for watching.